Hello everyone, this is J-Pop and this is my next match against Nutmeg with me, the purple Terran at the top right, and Nutmeg, the orange, Protoss at the top left, and the map is Tourney Malter. That's, I got it amazingly. One Tourney Malter for the map. And are we gonna see any crazy shenanigans from Nutmeg as we did the last time, or are we gonna have a more standard game? Well, I know the answer, but you guys will find out soon enough. And I build my SCV out in this direction. Because he proxied me the last time, I'm gonna cover a lot of my base by building right here, although you can get proxied almost anywhere. He doesn't have to do it in my base. He could have stuff over here, he could have stuff down here, you know, he could try to build things here. You know, if he makes it to my base and doesn't see, he could build right there, although that's pretty risky. But I mean, he could do a lot of things. And he's got his scouting probe coming out right now. You see his pathing to see where you can find me. So he found me, and so here he is. I build my barracks and he leaves. And I check out here to make sure that there aren't any hidden pylons, any hidden buildings or anything. And I still see him around my base, being cautious of to kind of know where he is. I kind of don't know what he's doing. I mean, while he lost in that proxy attack the last time, it made me think, you know, is he going to do something again? Because you never really know what someone is gonna do. I got 4 guys in gas. That's bad of me. And here my SCV comes in, sees the gateway, sees the extra pylon, so I know that he's not doing anything proxy-ish. And do I really keep 4 guys in gas? That's so bad of me. Cybernetic score going down, so he's opening up really standard, so he's not doing any crazy proxy or cheese or all-in styles or anything. So my marine comes out and it will deflect this probe. He sees the marine and promptly leaves, and I hide my SCV here to spot if there is an expansion going down. Second barracks on the way. I do fix the guys that are in gas. Hooray for me. And he asked if we could pause, so we do. And I pull guys out of gas just a little higher when I have enough so I can start stim. And I have my marines on the way. SCV still in production. And he's got his zealot moving out over in his base. And we look at the units tab. He's got 21 pros to my 17 SCVs. He's got warp gate technology on the way, 1 gateway. And so far, no additional gateways on the way. I've got 2 marines right here, and the zealot is on his way, and I have no bunker this time, so this is going to be a little bit more interesting. The zealot comes in, and marines are taking damage, and I try to split up my marines. See, if you run the marine that's being chased, leave 1 marine around to still shoot the zealot. That's how you need to micro zealots with marines in such low numbers. And the Stalker finally comes. Stalker against these 2 Marines could do. The Marines don't stand a chance against this 1 Stalker. And I'm trying to get more Marines out, and I get 2 more Marines out. And he takes out 1. And this Stalker, it would be close to take out the rest of these Marines. I pull that Marine back to try to keep it alive longer. And the Stalker is coming in, and trying to split up the damage, which Marine is in the front to take damage so that they last as long as possible. See how I'm whittling down this Stalker? You know, 15, 15, 9. You know, just a couple more shots from this Stalker who does 10 damage to the Marines. But see, 2 more Marines come out. So even though these Marines are weakened in health, they do a lot. They do the same amount of damage whether they have 1 HP or full HP. So it's very important to keep your units alive, especially this early on in the game. The Stalker sees that he's not going to be able to get in there and decides to retreat back home. His shields will recharge, but he's half damage on his hull. And my Marines, half of them are almost dead, half of them are not almost dead. And stim is finally finished. and I have my Marines, and that's when I decided to move out. I actually ideally like to have already moved out and be here when my stim is done, because that's the most ideal timing. But because he was in my base attacking me, I was forced to stay inside my base. And so now I got my Marines moving out, and I got this stim, and the Stalker comes up and runs into the bunch of Marines, so he loses this Stalker. And we look at the units tab, he has 2 sentries and 3 zealots. That extra Stalker could mean a lot, because you see that extra Stalker loss put me ahead in the units lost tab, especially with 4 of these Marines weak. That extra Stalker could have done major damage. The Observer out for my opponent. I got my expansion down the way, more Marines coming down Engineering Bay, and I started producing Marauders. Got guys back in gas. Second gas down for me, and I'm gonna lead out with my Marine to see what's going on. And I see a force right here, a huge force. He's got a good sized force here, more than these Marines can take on, so I'm gonna head back home, taking some losses. But he's got his expansion down just on the way, and mine is already completed, so I don't have to commit to attacking him. He had enough units to defend, so he gets the Nexus, but my expansion is already done. If we see, I'm ahead by 10 food. We look at the units tab, I am ahead in workers, so my economy is going to be higher than Nutmeg, so I'm adding on more barracks. Got +1 on the way. Reactor, don't have any more upgrades on the way, so I have 4 barracks right now in Engineering Bay, and producing Marines and Marauders, turning this into an orbital command. And I got my units spread out. Did I see something? No, I think I saw something, which is why I spread out my Marines. And Nutmeg has a pretty sizable force of 2 sentries, 5 Stalkers, and 5 zealots. He's got his proxy pylon set up, so he's gonna try to do an attack. I've got Marauders now with stim, Marines with stim, and I'm positioning myself, trying to figure out exactly where he is, not get caught by surprise. Because I know that I'm at the advantage, because my expansion has been up longer than my opponent's, and I'm pretty sure I have more workers than him, which is in fact true. And his force is waiting down up over here, and I got my Marine swinging around. He's going to swing around with this Stalker. We do not see each other, and I dart in and attack his force, and I stim and take out the Zealots. The Zealots are the big tanks for the Protoss army, and I'm going to try to take out these highly gassed sentries. I get the sentry, and I get the pylon, and you see the food difference, 65 food to 49 food, and I fall back here to the Zelnaga Tower. Stalker and Observer are just hiding up here, having a good time. And +1 is just about finished. I got my starport down and on the way. Reactors up, making Marines, trying to make Marines. And +1 is done. Got more barracks. And where do I have? I have the factory and the starport here in the back. So I got the reactor going now. So I'm gonna make medevacs to support this army. I got +1 armor on the way. Both refineries finishing for my expansion. We'll look at the units tab. I'm still ahead in workers. Got 23 Marines. There's 3 Zealots, 1 Immortal, 5 Stalkers, and 3 Sentries. So bringing out my reinforcing army here, and so I got a tech lab, got combat shield down on the way, got concussive shell on the way, and I'm making a bunch of units, and I'm headed out towards his expansion base, where he has 2 Immortals, some Stalkers, and some Zealots, and I'm coming out with a very, very huge bioforce. If we look at the food, I am almost 15 units ahead. So I'm gonna come up in here, and I'm gonna scan, and I'm gonna like what I see. I got +1 done. He's got no upgrades for his. I got stim done, so I shoot that +1, takes out the incoming Zealots, and I focus down the Immortals. The 2 Immortals go down, 2 more Zealots coming up to the front, trying to do as much damage as they can. I got to micro around a little bit. Stim, shoot, and he's able to hold off my push. Look at the units lost tab. He has still lost a huge amount more than I have, and I have a second reinforcing army coming my way. I also have the +1 armor. I'm about to finish, got an armory down, and I should have medevacs, and I do have medevacs this time, so I'm going to come out again with another push. But I'm going to have +1/+1 ready. I have concussive shells done, and I believe combat shield is now also done for my Marines, which give them an extra 10 HP and this extra 1 armor against all he has. He has a Colossus. He has no upgrades on his units. He is down by 20 food, by 30 food. And I'm going to come in here with... I'm going to scan, I'm going to see the Colossus, see that he doesn't have much stim, and start shooting. I'm going to rush up with these three Marauders to weaken the Colossus, and I take Nutmeg down. Calls good game. Another Colossus comes up, but to no avail. And Nutmeg has left the game, and that was my next match in the StarCraft 2 SC2 NVIDIA tournament against Nutmeg, and I came out 2-0 this time, so yes, hooray for me. I was able to handle that proxy gateway, and this time I was able to hold off his early Zealot Stalker pressure and get an expansion up and walk in and crush him. So yep, this was my next match, and so when I see you guys, it most likely will be the next time I'm casting my next match. I'll see you guys then.